Have you ever thought about growing your own organic vegetables in your small space? Well, if you have, you're in the right place. Small space organic gardening is an incredible way to bring nature to your doorstep, and it's far easier than you might think. Imagine having fresh, healthy produce at your fingertips anytime you want, right from the comfort of your own home. Not only is it a cost-effective way to keep your fridge stocked with nutrient-rich food, but it's also a great way to contribute to a healthier planet. By choosing to grow organically, you're reducing the amount of chemicals entering our soil and waterways. You're also creating a habitat for beneficial insects and pollinators. Embarking on your small space organic gardening journey is not just about growing food, it's about growing a healthier lifestyle and ultimately, a healthier world. By the end of this video, you will understand how to create your own small space organic garden. Before we start digging, it's vital to grasp a few gardening basics. So let's get our hands metaphorically dirty and dive right in. First and foremost, understanding your space is key. Whether you're working with a sunny balcony, a shady corner of your yard, or an indoor windowsill, every space has its unique characteristics that can either help or hinder your gardening efforts. For instance, some plants thrive in sunlight, soaking up rays for most of the day, while others prefer the cooler, dimmer conditions that shade provides. Knowing how much sunlight your space receives can dramatically influence the success of your garden. Next up is choosing the right plants for your climate. This might seem like a no-brainer, but it's surprising how many green thumbs overlook this fundamental factor. Each plant species has a preferred climate, and while some are quite flexible, others can be very particular. For example, a cactus will not be happy in a damp, cloudy environment, just as a fern won't thrive in a hot, dry one. So it's essential to do a little research and select plants that are well suited to your local weather conditions. Lastly, let's talk about composting. Now you might be thinking, composting? Isn't that just a fancy word for a pile of rotting kitchen scraps? Well, yes and no. Composting is nature's way of recycling, turning organic waste into nutrient-rich soil. It's a fantastic way to reduce household waste and create a sustainable source of nutrients for your garden. Plus, it's a lot easier than you might think. All you need is a mix of green waste like vegetable peelings and coffee grounds and brown waste such as leaves or paper, and nature will do the rest. With these basics in mind, you're ready to start your garden. So grab your gloves and trowel and let's get growing. The next step is to select the right plants for your small space. When choosing plants, consider their growth habits. Some plants, like tomatoes, grow vertically, making them ideal for small spaces. Others, like lettuce, spread out horizontally, which might not be ideal if you're working with limited space. Another factor to consider is the size of the plant. A small plant like a radish can be a better fit for a small space than a large plant like a pumpkin. Also, think about yield. Some plants, like beans, can produce a lot over a long period, which is excellent if you're hoping for a continuous harvest. Lastly, don't forget to choose disease-resistant varieties. These plants are bred to be more resilient to common plant diseases, which can save you a lot of time and effort in the long run. Once you have your plants chosen, you're ready to start planting. Now comes the fun part, planting your garden. Imagine your small space as a canvas, and you, the artist, are about to create a masterpiece. The first step of this creative process is preparing the soil. This is arguably one of the most important steps, as the soil is the foundation of your garden. Start by removing any debris, such as rocks or twigs. Once the area is clean, turn the soil over with a trowel or a garden fork. This aerates the soil, making it easier for the roots of your plants to penetrate. Next, it's time to enrich the soil. Organic matter, like compost or well-rotted manure, is perfect for this. Mix it into the top layer of your soil. This enriches the soil with nutrients, providing your plants with the food they need to grow strong and healthy. Now that the soil is prepped, it's time to introduce the stars of the show, the seeds or seedlings. If you're planting seeds, make a shallow trench with your finger, sprinkle in the seeds, and cover them lightly with soil. For seedlings, dig a hole that's deep enough to accommodate the root ball, place the seedling in the hole, and gently firm the soil around it. Proper spacing of your plants is crucial. Each plant needs enough room to grow without competing with its neighbors for nutrients and sunlight. The spacing requirements will vary depending on the type of plant, so be sure to check the seed packet or plant tag for instructions. Remember, patience is key. Gardening is not about instant gratification. It's about watching and waiting, nurturing and caring. It's about the joy of seeing a seed sprout, a plant grow, a flower bloom. With your plants in the ground, you're halfway to having a thriving organic garden. Now it's time to sit back, relax, and watch as your garden comes to life. The journey to a flourishing organic garden has just begun, and the rewards will be well worth the wait. A garden is a living thing, and it requires care and attention. Much like any living being, a garden flourishes with a steady routine of nourishment, protection, and love. One of the crucial elements of this routine is regular watering. Plants are predominantly made up of water, and thus, consistent hydration is vital for their survival and growth. But remember, it's a delicate balance. Too little water and the plants wilt. Too much and they drown. Now let's talk about weeding. Weeds are the uninvited guests of your garden party. They compete with your plants for nutrients, sunlight, and space. Regular weeding helps ensure that your plants have all the resources they need to grow. So roll up your sleeves, get down on your knees, and show those weeds who's boss. Pest control is another essential aspect of garden maintenance. But before you reach for that chemical pesticide, consider this. Many natural pest control methods are just as effective and far better for the environment and your health. From introducing beneficial insects like ladybugs and praying mantis to your garden, to using homemade sprays made from garlic or chili, nature provides us with plenty of pest control options that are safe, natural, and effective. Last but not least, let's talk about mulching. Mulching serves a dual purpose. Not only does it help retain moisture in the soil, but it also suppresses weed growth. Organic mulches like compost, grass clippings, or straw can even add nutrients back into the soil as they decompose. Maintaining a garden is no small task. It requires time, effort, and a good deal of patience. But the rewards are well worth it. The sight of thriving plants, the taste of fresh organic produce, the sense of accomplishment that comes from nurturing something from seed to harvest. With regular care, your garden will thrive and produce a bounty of fresh organic produce. So, put on your gardening gloves, step into your garden, and let the magic unfold. The final step is the most rewarding, enjoying the fruits of your labor. After tending to your plants with care and patience, it's time to harvest and savor the payoff. The key is to know when your vegetables are ripe and ready to pick. This may vary depending on the type of vegetable, but there are some general signs to look for. For leafy greens like lettuce or spinach, harvest when the leaves look full and vibrant, typically before they reach their maximum size. This is when they're at their peak flavor and nutrient content. Tomatoes, on the other hand, are best when they've developed their full color, whether that's red, yellow, or green. They should feel slightly soft to the touch, but not mushy. Root vegetables like carrots and beets can be a bit trickier. You'll want to gently brush away some soil around the top of the vegetable. If it's at least the width of a quarter, it's usually ready to harvest. Now, once you've harvested your produce, you'll want to store it properly to keep it fresh. Most vegetables do well in a cool, humid environment like a refrigerator. However, some like tomatoes and onions prefer a cool, dry place. And finally, the best part, enjoying your fresh, homegrown produce. The options are endless. You can eat them raw, cook them, or preserve them. Consider making a fresh salad with your leafy greens and tomatoes, or roast your root vegetables for a hearty side dish. Preserving your produce, like canning or freezing, allows you to enjoy your harvest year-round. Not to mention, it can be a fun project and a great way to reduce waste. Remember, there's nothing quite like the taste of homegrown vegetables. They're a testament to your hard work, and every bite is a celebration of your successful gardening journey. With these steps, you can enjoy the satisfaction of growing your own organic vegetables, no matter how small your space.